let's talk a minute about our thoughts. You see, we can be surrounded by beauty. Think of the majestic mountains or a beautiful beach, a nice flowing river. You can be right in the middle of any of those scenes, and yet you can miss it. You can be consumed in your thinking, and on the outside it's beautiful, but on the inside it's despair and anxiety and worry. So how do you deal with those things? How do you overcome? Well, I want to turn our attention to Philippians. And Paul writes, "Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus." The first step, first of all, is to be anxious for nothing. See, our mind can get fixated on things, and it can consume us, cause anxiety, because in life we're going to be surrounded by things. Things are going to come into our lives that cause anxiety. But he tells us not to be anxious, but to pray about it, to bring it to him in prayer. I know it seems easy, it seems simple, but that is the answer, starting with prayer and with thanksgiving. Bring your request, but be thankful. Because if you really think about it, right at this very moment, here we are living, we're breathing, we have food, and we have water, we have a place to live. I mean, things aren't necessarily bad at the moment, but normally what brings the anxiety is thinking about things in the future, or something that somebody did to us in the past. It's either the past or the future that's causing the anxiety. So let's start with thanksgiving and bring it to God in prayer. Let your request be made known to the Lord. And it says that his understanding, his peace, will guard our hearts and minds. It's beyond our understanding, but he will give us peace. And then he goes on to say, finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there's any virtue and anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things. The things which you've learned and received and heard and saw in me, these do, and the God of peace will be with you. I want to draw your attention to our thinking, our thoughts, what you're meditating on or thinking upon or dwelling upon. Because if we're not careful, you can be consumed in your thinking, in your anxiety, in your worry, in your unforgiveness because of something that somebody did, and you're consumed with that. He says, hey, turn your thinking, think on that which is good, of good report. Meditate on these things. Think upon that which is good. And you know what? The God of peace will be with you. You have a choice, and it's about learning to bring those thoughts into subjection to him, not let the thoughts run wild. Because you know what? We can wake up in the morning, and what we do with our thinking can choose the course of our day. Bring them to the Lord in prayer. Cast them upon him. Know that he is able to take care of your needs. Do it with thanksgiving, and then think about that which is good. Don't think upon that which is going to bring you down. It doesn't mean that you ignore, but it means that you don't let it rule your life. Again, we can be in a beautiful place. We can have a beautiful family. We can have beautiful surroundings. Yet we can miss it, and we can be consumed and in bondage because of anxiety and fear and worry. Or we can bring it to him. We can be anxious for nothing and trust God to resolve those things that is causing anxiety, but don't let those things rule your life, because there is a peace that you can have And it starts with bringing it to Him in